Okay, hello. I'm going to do a very quick video for a customer on a 383 FB Columbus today. For a customer whose wife had a FaceTime walkthrough done, but the husband wasn't able to be here for it. So I'm going to do just a really quick rundown. He just wanted a couple of things answered, so I thought it'd be easier to do a video. So the first thing he was asking about was the auto level system. That's the one thing that people are nervous about most of the time if they've never had an auto level system. It's actually very easy to operate. It's not at all hard. It's right inside your storage right here. So here is the auto level system. I got it plugged in, and with these, the battery has to be charged up pretty good. It's a hydraulic system on this. So the auto level is hydraulic and everything else is electric. So there's that. The battery does need to be charged up with a hydraulic system just because it uses so much power. It's a very fast system. But here we are. Okay, so this is your home screen. It says ready. This is the LCI Lippert auto level. So what you're going to do is, as soon as this gets brought to you, it's being delivered, it's going to get taken off of the driver's truck. And as soon as it gets sat in the spot you want it in, before you pull the slides out, before you put the steps down, before you do anything else, we want you to auto level. You're just going to push auto level. You're going to push it and it's going to say grounding, and then it's going to start leveling up. It only takes a couple of minutes with the hydraulic system. It's very fast. The next screen with the arrows here, auto hitch, that would be, it would put it in the last place it was hitched up at. It doesn't have a memory of it right now, but that's all that's for. And then the auto retract, enter to begin. So you would go to that screen and then hit enter. And what that'll do is bring the whole leveling system up, including the front. So whenever the front landing gear gets pulled up, it makes the nose of the camper go way down, all the way down. So just be aware of that. Most of the time you don't use the auto retract unless it's hooked to a truck already, and then you can auto retract and it will bring the front landing gear up while you're walking around doing other things. And then your next setting is the manual level. Again, enter to begin. You can go front to rear, left to right if you need to do individual leveling for whatever reason. Most of the time you're never going to need to use that. Alright, and then the next setting should be your home screen again. And really that's it. If you want the front to go up, just push up and it takes it up. If you want it to go down,
sorry, I don't understand.
You're going to hit retract and down. And that's it. That's all you have to do. Alright, that's it on that. I mean, really, it is that simple. There's more to it, I guess, if you needed it, but it's a very simple system. Up here is instructions on hitching and unhitching from a vehicle. So just keep that sticker here. After you do it a few times, you're going to be good to go. It's not at all hard to use. Alright, you have your transfer switch here because you have 3 AC units on this unit. So this is going to transfer from one to another. You got a great big storage area here. Alright, go over here. And right here is your water system. This is a little different for some people too. You have your satellite and cable here. And you can turn your water pump on from in here if you need to. This, you're going to tell the camper how you're going to use it. So I'm trying to get the glare off of there. There we go, I think. city water is where most people are going to be, so you're going to put these in that position of what the picture shows. To dry camp, you're going to fill the tank, and then you're going to put it in the dry camp mode. All right, that's going to pull water from the fresh tank. Here is your city water. That's where everything's going to happen. Your city water to fill the tank, all that stuff. Over here, you've got your black tank flush for the main bathroom, and then you have another black tank flush for the half bath. And right here, you've got your 2 blacks and a gray here, and it's going to dump out of that right there. And of course, you've got your hose here for your outside shower, just a quick connect. Okay, and a water filter system here. The filter itself is not in there. It is inside, so that whenever you get set up, you can drop it in. Okay. All right, walking around here. Got your propane. And all the way at the top here, right up here, is where you're going to be able to go from one tank to another. Just push it over one way or the other, okay? All right, there's that. I got one on this side and one on the other side. All right, and up here we have the front storage. So you have these cables here. If you want to put another battery on, you can hook them together. And that tool is to get your spare tire down. This is your inverter. You have a way to turn this on from inside. You don't have to do it from out here. You got your battery disconnect there. And then here's your hydraulic fluid. And up here is your leveling system controller, so to speak. So things are not working the way they should be, just check here and make sure everything's connected the way it's supposed to be. All right, and your battery's in here. Right there, there's room for another one right there. It's a wet battery, so you're going to pop the caps on that battery every now and again and check to be sure that there's water in there. If it needs water, distilled is the water that you're going to put in there. All right, okay, here we go. Just the other side of your storage. The storage in this is massive up front. This is your water heater. It's gas or electric, or you could do both. And then here is your furnace exhaust. The steps. The handle here is pretty easy to use. You're just going to push this in, and then it goes down like that for travel. And then when you get it, you're going to pull it out. And you can grab the back of it and push it down, and it extends it. All right, sorry the videos are always shaky with me because I'm using my phone. Okay, as soon as you walk in the door here, on your right hand side, you've got your breakers and fuses are there. And then in here is your monitor system. So on this, if it's lit up in blue, it's on. So here it's going to give you a digital readout of all your tanks. So your fresh tank has about 1/3 in it. I'm going to dump that as soon as I'm done here. And then your black 1, black 2, gray, and galley, which is your kitchen. And that tells you your battery. All of these are light switches. You have a connect button here. And that is if you download an app, it's called LCI One Control. You'd be able to register the camper on that app, and then everything that you can do from here, you'd be able to do from your phone. So you'd be able to open your awnings and all of your slide outs, turn on lights, the water heater electric or gas, and then your water pump, and then you have tank heaters. Each one of your tanks have a heat pad on them. So if you were going to camp when it's a little bit colder out, you can turn that on, and it would help prevent you from freezing up. There's never any guarantee that you won't freeze up, but with this on, it'll help to keep you from freezing. All right, and then down here, is your solar controller. Now, right now, it looks like it's doing a bunch of stuff, but in reality, nothing happens until you unplug. The best way for me to explain what solar does is the solar itself doesn't really run anything. The solar is kind of like the employee to the battery. So what the solar is going to do is when you're unplugged, if it's in storage or, it's not being used, it will throw a trickle charge onto the battery. If you are using the camper and you're not plugged in, it's going to try to maintain the charge on the battery while you're using the camper. You're not gonna last a long time on battery, and just keep in mind it will only be able to do what the battery can do. So your camper will have lights, you can use fans, things like that, but your AC unit, microwave, the big stuff is not going to run on battery, even with solar. So if you want to put more solar up there, you can, but just keep in mind that it's only the helper to the battery. The solar itself doesn't run anything, okay? And then this here is the switch for your ceiling fan over there, okay? And really that's about all here. You do have your inverter here. If you were to lose power, you could turn that on and it will run some outlets and keep your refrigerator going. And that's really what that's for. Okay. Your thermostat over here, you have 3 zones here. So you have zones 1, 2, and 3. I have zone 1 on right now, and zone 1 is your main zone. It's going to do the whole camper. The AC unit is ducted throughout off of the main one, but it will also, the second AC will also run through the ductwork as well. So if you're hooked up to 50 amps, you'll be able to run 2 AC units at a time. You're not going to be able to run all three of them all at once. You just can't. There's not enough power to do all 3 of them. So you're going to tell it how you're going to use it. So you got your fan speeds, high and low and off. And then system, down here where it says system, you can go from cool to heat and off. And that's it. Then go to zone 2 and pick the system, which is going to be cool or electric heat. You do have electric heat on your second AC, that's zone 2. And zone 3 is just your AC. You're just going to hit system for cool. All right? Just play around with it. You're not going to hurt anything. People are always scared to touch buttons. You're not going to hurt anything. Just play around with it and see how everything works. You have a pretty nice refrigerator here. It's my first time seeing this one. It's by Norcold. So up here, you'd be able to turn it off and on. I think it's on. Yeah, I'm going to turn that off so it doesn't do anything. I am going to have your battery disconnect off. When you get it, it's going to be off, okay? Okay, now it's off. But you have different modes up here for the freezer, this is for the refrigerator and the freezer, and then you put it like in a night mode. It just powers everything down a little bit so it's not using as much power. So you have this. It's pretty big. Bit too big. Good shelving in there. And then you got that ice maker back there. Okay. This, you have your light for the oven, and then your light for the stovetop. Your propane's off, so I'm not going to, I think the FaceTime video already went through all this. You have your power towers on each side. So you have 2 outlets, charging station, a USB and C port. And then when it's like this, it's a wireless charger. So you got that one and this one. All right, got your fireplace. For electric heat, if you want to run that instead of your furnace, you can, or you can run it along with the furnace. Just remember your underbelly is covered, And the only way it can be heated is if your furnace is on, because that's where the heat would be coming from, is your furnace. If you just have the fireplace on, it's not going to do anything for your underbelly. But it is very good to knock the chill out of the air. Okay, got all that. And I don't have your bed pulled out because the camper that's next to us, we're just a little too close for me to pull that one out. But everything else in here is pretty standard stuff. I think that the most that's different for you guys, for the people that are buying this camper, that have bought this camper, I should say, is the leveling system's different, and maybe this monitor, because I'm not sure what you've had before, but this is pretty nice. These guys, we have pretty good luck with these as far as service work goes. We don't see these guys come in a lot for service work, so that's a good thing. That couch there is going to make a big bed, so that's nice. It's way better than your company having to sleep on the floor, that's for sure. All right. Okay, so I think I'm going to end it here. If you have any other questions, just give me a call. And that's it. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye.